What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mark Howard. And you know what we do here? We talk Cowboys here. That's what we do. So, you're saying there's still a chance. uh, the calculations, as far as all the metrics and everything like that, say the Cowboys have basically a 9% chance of making the playoffs. So, it does mean we got to win the rest of the last 4 games. That's for sure. And then we are going to need a lot of help, maybe even a real collapse from, say, the Eagles. Somebody can shoot an arrow up at the Eagles and that eagle in the sky and pop, knock it down, and let the Cowboys pass them. That's not very greatly likely, as we took a pretty big loss to the Detroit Lions, 44-30. Big loss in the sense, not the margin, 14 points, but we had our chances within the game, but just didn't need to lose it. But like I said, the odds of us going a longer streak, we went through a pretty good, tough stretch and came out 3-1. Unfortunately, because of what we did before that, 3-1 would be good in a 4-game stretch, but 3-1 just isn't enough. I mean, hell, if we went 4-0, it still doesn't guarantee us a spot. The Lions beat us, and they're still on the outside looking in to get into the playoffs. So there has to be some real collapses. Chicago Bears lost to the Packers. I was kind of hoping that maybe Chicago beat the Packers. Maybe they could fall back and we could surpass them if we could have less losses than them, being the fact that we both tied each other. See how complicated that is? Anyway, looking at moving forward, we are going up against the Chargers next week. We got, I'm sorry, excuse me, why did I say Chargers? Minnesota Vikings. Then the following week, we got the Chargers. And then we finish with NFC East games, both on the road at Washington, New York. So these next 2 games are home games for us. So they're doable. Vikings just come off of popping the crap out of the Commodores, the Commanders. I had a little fun with that because a lot of those fans want to, and other teams' fans want to come chime in when we lost to the Lions. But going into the game next week against the Vikings, our depth chart as far as the injuries, got Jadeveon Clowney, who's been out. I mean, that's with a knee. Trayvon Diggs still going through the injury reserve, the 21-day. I think the goal, the timetable was set for him to come back for the game Monday, not that Thursday game against Detroit. Tyler Guyton is still listed as out with concussion. CeeDee Lamb is listed with the concussion as questionable. Reports are saying with CeeDee Lamb that he's doing pretty good. Again, with the concussions, it really goes to the individual, how they react to the concussions, how serious it can be affected to them. So some people we've had out missed a week and come back. Some people we had missed a couple weeks. In the sense here with Guyton, missing a couple of weeks. Unfortunate. Hate to hear that. Not just because he's a good player and a starter, but because of just the overall health. But moving forward, we're still at this late season in December. We're still relatively healthy. So we gotta thank ourselves for that. The game I've looked at with us last week, and if I can get on some things, the defense was not up to par. The Lions' offense was able to not really run on us. They ran effectively, almost like how we run on people. Like Javonte Williams isn't eating up a lot of yards. He's not getting 130, 140, 150 yards. He may get 70, 80, get some 100-yard games. But I think he's averaging about maybe 85 yards a game, 80 to 85 yards a game. But it's moments that he makes key runs, keeps the chains moving, sets them up on second and short distance. That's, to me, what Gibbs and Montgomery, was able to do against us. And then the pass game, we just gave up a whole lot. Corners were getting beat, and safeties was no help at all. Again, they still want to keep Donovan Wilson back, where I heard someone say he'd be better off to be a weak side linebacker. You know, Eberflus is not willing to adapt his defense enough to the personnel he has. Now that part starts to filter into the coach. Talked about the players and the personnel. We've improved. We've improved greatly. But you can always get the ball out before the defensive line can get that pressure on you. And if the secondary help is not strong and not in the right place or not the right coverage called, we're in trouble. Sometimes the secondary's got to buy time for the line. Sometimes the line's got to save the secondary from getting beat by getting to the quarterback too soon. Throw off their timing. We didn't have any of that. We get pressures, but sometimes we don't get home. When we get pressures, our secondary's left naked a bit. They're left to cover a load that a lot of them are not prepared to do. We got Javon Ravel, who's a rookie, going through no training camp. He's going through training camp now. He's gotten thrown in there. He's been admirably playing and doing some good things. But again, he's getting indoctrinated. We don't have Trey Diggs back, hoping to have him this week. Deron Bland is really a better slot corner than the edge corner. He's a good edge corner, but in no way means that, look, Deron Bland probably should have got Defensive Player of the Year for what he did, for what he accomplished. But in no way, shape, or form would I consider Deron Bland as a lockdown corner. Okay? He's not Darrelle Revis, or I would say Surtain, who we wanted before this in Denver. He's not that lockdown. He's fine. He's good. There's no diss. There's just the fact that he's not going to lock you down. He can make plays, but it works hand in hand. The defensive line's got to get that pressure. We weren't able to get that much pressure in there. And even when we were trying to get this game back control, maybe pull a comeback off, we couldn't stop them. We couldn't stop them defensively. So it was a real letdown on that end. Very disappointing. The game got a little out of hand earlier. Some mistakes were made earlier, and we couldn't overcome them. If you get mistakes and you get down early, you got to have the defense recover, get on par, which they did in a couple of games. We got down to Philadelphia, came back with that. Got down to Kansas City, came back on that. So they're very, very capable of doing so. We just didn't do it this time, and we can't afford to have those slip-ups, although, we didn't give ourselves that kind of room. Offensively, I think we were doing well. CeeDee Lamb was having a hell of a game. I mean, his numbers don't tell. If you look at his numbers, you don't know he left early in the third quarter. You don't know he left early in the third quarter from the numbers he had. George Pickens did not have his best game. And now when I say his best game, he didn't have the kind of game that it was basically, for him, his worst game. Not necessarily statistically, but just overall. I think it was a bit emotional, a bit frustrating for him in that game. And it's one of those things. Now, that opened the door for everybody to go, there's a George Pickens. We know there's a George Pickens. Man, please. Everybody goes to their stuff, man. And look, playing football is a physical game. It's a hurt game. It's about hurting people game. Not really wanting to injure people, but it's a physical game. And you got to have a certain mindset. Sometimes that mindset's going to be a little off. It's going to be a little quirky in that situation. So I'm not worried about George Pickens, man. So far, you get all these games coming in. Played 13 games. We played 12 games at this point, up to game 13, and now we're talking about a problem? Please. Coach Schottenheimer said that he had a good conversation with George. He feels good with it. I trust it. I think Schottenheimer knows how to deal with these guys, these kids, and I trust him. We'll see. George Floyd had 5 receptions for 37 yards. Longest one he got was 11 yards. CeeDee Lamb, as I was saying, 6 receptions for 121 yards. That's a full game. But he left out with probably 13 minutes left in the third quarter. 12, 13 minutes left in the third quarter. he was on his way to put in a monster effort. And then not having him helps their defense even better. Flournoy did step up. I won't lie, Ryan Flournoy did step up. 9 receptions, 115 yards, 12.8 yards of pass play. That's really good. Flournoy shows potential. He definitely shows some strong potential there. And, but the way the defense is going to play, Ryan Flournoy, as he gets more experience and gets there, will he be that receiver? Say, oh, well, we can't let Flournoy beat us. Flournoy, you can let beat you right now. You can let beat you right now. As long as we take the impact of Pickens away. And that was part of what they were able to do. Rushing wise, Williams had 67 yards. Again, the average 4 yards a carry, got a touchdown, 17 carries. Prescott had the second most at 14 yards. Malik Davis didn't really have a good game there. But again, they didn't blow us up with rushing with those two great running backs that they have. Gibbs was second most rushing. Montgomery got us gashes mostly. He had 6 carries for 60 yards. Gibbs had 12 carries for 43 yards. Gibbs did definitely hurt us in the passing game, though. 7 receptions for 77 yards. So that part was bothering. But again, passing game just, we don't cover the flats very well on the outside. And with a player like Gibbs or even Montgomery get out in the open field, especially Gibbs getting out in the open field, that's tough. Didn't tackle very well neither. But I go back to the defense on that. Sticking with the offense, our offense did well. Dak Prescott played well. He had a couple of interceptions. They were off of bad plays. You can look at rating-wise. He had a 52 QBR, 80 passer rating. Not, it was average. But he did fine there. The numbers are not going to look good. The interceptions were essentially not really on him so much, but they're in his statistics. 1 touchdown, threw for 375 yards. Again, you look at the 2 receivers. CD had 121. Flournoy had 115. Jake Ferguson kind of had a slow game, but it's more like a Jake Ferguson game, but not as impactful in those moments that you're used to having. The offense, though, overall, they put up 30 points. Put up 30 points. They can put up 30 points. The defense is at a point where we could say, hey, 30 points should win a game. But the defense didn't play as normal. If it was able to play as normal, you take half of those points off of Detroit. What can you say? There was a fumble with Jake Ferguson. He fumbled the ball, set Detroit up in scoring position. They were able to score off of it. It's tough. It's tough in that situation. So Detroit needed to win. We needed to win. They've been on the outside looking in just like we are. And again, as I said before, the more desperate team usually will win. I think we were both equally desperate. So that balances that out at this point, is who executed. So you look at the standings here with the playoff picture in the NFC. We dropped down to 10th behind Carolina. Detroit is 8th. So they're in contention in that sense there. The Bears dropped down from being division leader, number 2, all the way down to number 7. We're two losses more than the Bears, the 49ers, and Philadelphia. Okay? We need somebody to fall off badly. and we still got to win out. We got to win these. These 4 games are winnable. These 4 games are winnable. You can look at the Vikings blowing out Washington, but Washington's trash. But the other one's, the point is it's a division game on their turf, so we cannot take it easy. It's playoff time. We're in the playoff mode now. It's double elimination. We lost 1. We can't afford from this point out to lose any more. These last 4 games, if we win out, we're still not guaranteed. But if we lose, we're definitely out. It's gonna say E next to us in the standings. I guarantee you. And if we get to the playoffs, obviously you can't lose on that. Well, I think that we'll put together a good effort. I believe Schottenheimer will get them to put together a good effort. My question is, Matt Eberflus, and will he make, well, at this point, I don't know. He hasn't made enough adjustments, or does he now realize, as they say, fat meat is greasy with the defense in a sense, and make the adjustments to the personnel you have, especially in the secondary. You got to make adjustments for that secondary. Secondary is the weakest. And if you're a coach, that's what you do. You make adjustments. I can say that there as well myself, being a coach. So I'm hoping people can criticize and be hard on you. I get it. I got it there. You've been in this game a long time, Matt Eberflus. Do it. Coach Schottenheimer, you're the head coach. Make him do it. All right? We'll talk more about what's going on through the week as we get ready for this Sunday's game. That's what I'm playing. And so it'll be fun. We'll go down to the last part of the week, last few weeks here, looking at the season and looking at what's going forward for us. All right. Hey, appreciate everybody. Please subscribe. I get more subscribers all the time. I'm so happy. More viewers. Hit like, share it, let other people know. We appreciate you. We're going to continue to do what we do. You know what we do here. My name is Mark Howard, and we talk Cowboys here. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.